Honorable Men Discord. Let's talk President Trump's controversial post on Truth Social Media. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So what you see behind me is the post that President Trump made on Truth Social Media, which has been removed. It's actually been removed, I want to say, not too long after it was posted. So I have a few things queued up. I want to get into this. And let me be clear on this. I hold President Trump responsible for posting it. Now, I know there's been claims that someone else posted it, but I would assume that these things have to be cleared first before they go up, unless he has a handler that handles his social media. As far as X is concerned, it seems as though he's in full control of his own X. But as far as Truth Social Media is concerned, I don't know who's in control of this. I really do not believe he's in control of all of these platforms himself. I could be wrong on that. That doesn't make it acceptable. But in all fairness, and I'm not, by no means am I defending the fact that a U.S. sitting president allowed a post like this to go through. I'm not condoning it. But in all fairness, the full video had multiple political figures in it. Now, whoever created it clearly was very clever. In my opinion, they used this opportunity to put Michelle Obama and Barack Obama on apes and monkeys. And the best way to get away with it without too much attention on it would be to just throw a whole bunch of other political figures throughout the jungle. And I think it was one of those things where it's clearly, in my opinion, racist, but it was cleverly done because it was a full video. Now, did Trump post a full video? We'll get into that right now with the first thing I have queued up. But first, let's watch this video in its context. It's full context, so viewer discretion is advised. I'm not showing this to offend anyone or to spark any rage that's already came due to this. All right, I'm not trying to reignite any rage, but I am showing this in its full context just so you can understand what exactly it is that you were watching when you saw the clip of what President Donald Trump posted. So let's get into it.
The full Barack Obama monkey video is a bizarre, animated parody of U.S. politics that feels more surreal than serious. The clip reimagines major political figures from both parties as Lion King-style jungle animals, turning Washington into a full-blown cartoon animal kingdom. In the video, Donald Trump is portrayed as a lion and crowned the king of the jungle, while other politicians appear as different animals meant to exaggerate their personalities, power, or public image. It's not a clear political argument so much as visual satire. The video leans hard into symbolism, pop culture, and mockery, using animation to comment on power, hierarchy, and rivalry in American politics rather than explain any specific position. That's why it sparked so much debate online. Some see it as parody, others as provocation, and some just find it unsettling. But one thing is clear: blending cartoon imagery with real political figures makes it instantly viral, controversial, and impossible to scroll past.
Now, I saw Whoopi Goldberg in there, and she's not a politician. So it wasn't just politicians once you put Whoopi Goldberg in there. But let's carry on. I have some reactions from some people regarding this post, so let's hear from them.
For going and thinking the way that they did. Think on that one for a little bit. It's kind of like what's been taking place here in Minneapolis. The left has to go to all these great lengths to try to show how ICE is bad, because they haven't been able to actually find any real-world examples apart from the shooting controversies, of which there'll be investigations. They haven't been able to find actual examples of ICE being bad. So what's the left with when it comes to criticism of Donald Trump? Stupid videos like this. Claims are being made once again that President Donald Trump is a racist, but here's the truth about the video that Trump shared on Truth Social, wherein there was a portion of it that showed former President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama superimposed over a couple of apes. Here's the truth. First off, let me show you the actual video, not the selective edited portion that you've probably been seeing online put up by the radical left. So here's the video in question. Now, as you can see, it's about a minute long. We're about 53 seconds in. This entire video up until this point had basically been reporting on how 2020 might have been a stolen election. You get to about the 56-second mark in the video, and this happens. Watch.
Spike occurred that favored Joe Biden.
So first off, whoever posted the original video talking about a potential stolen election in 2020 should have previewed the entire video. It's clearly a setup. It's been deleted off of Truth Social, and that's a good thing. Here's my proof. This is the actual video that little tiny bit was clipped from and placed inside of the video that was posted on Trump's Truth Social. Watch. And the truth shall set you free. It's much ado about nothing. The original parody video, it's funny. And the reality is, anybody that wants to look at even that little clip embedded in the other video, which again, clearly it shouldn't have been put up, it was deleted, that was the right thing to do. But anybody who's looking at that and saying that it's racist, they're actually the racists for going and thinking the way that they did. Think on that one for a little bit.
So I just want to stop him right there. So do I think the entire video is racist? I'm 50-50 split on it because, again, how it was done with other political figures. And I'm just... Listen. Was it an opportunity to possibly intentionally put Barack Obama and Michelle Obama as monkeys and an ape? Yes. But it also could be one of those things, and this is just me being non-biased. It could be one of those things based on skin tone. You place those individuals on animals relative to them, to the skin tone of the animals. It could be possible that's where they tried to go with it. I don't know. The fact that a president posted it is where it becomes concerning. That's where the focus should be. These AI videos, I don't take it as serious as a sitting president posting it. The reason being is because AI has been playing the race card for a very long time. You've seen older episodes that I covered where they were taking AI images, they were taking AI images of, actually, let me delete this out. They were taking AI images and having African Americans chug down fried chicken and things like that, or, have fictitious AI characters speaking profanity. It was almost as they were mocking certain groups of African Americans. So this has been going on since AI's inception. There's going to be faceless people behind the monitors creating these images to show their true colors as far as what they think of a certain group of African Americans, So my thoughts on the actual video with Trump, taking Trump out of the equation, my thoughts on the actual video, I'm not surprised. AI's been playing around with this stuff for a long time. Does it make it acceptable? No, it doesn't make it acceptable, but how could you stop it? How could you regulate it? That's for those people who have created these AI platforms to figure that out and to regulate it. Until then, these things are going to continue. The reason why I think this has made headlines and became an issue is because a sitting president that has to represent an entire country, a country that embodies different races, for a sitting president to have allowed a video like that on his account, to allow a video like that to go through, that's where it becomes concerning. That's where I focus my attention on. And again, I don't agree that was able to go through. Now, whether or not someone tried to sabotage him by putting that out and sneaking that through within the video, because like the gentleman said that I just played, it was a small portion that came out. Now, whether or not the president vetted it or not, whether or not somebody intentionally did that to sabotage his image, those things are possible. I'm not going to negate that because I can't prove that he himself put it up. But one thing is for certain, as of this recording, I did not hear anything from the president denouncing it and apologizing for it. So that right there, regardless if he put it up or not, it calls question into his character and the type of president that he is. Interestingly enough, I've been supportive of Nicki Minaj and her free speech and her freedom in choosing who she wants to support and what she wants to do. Not saying that I agree with everything she stands for. Not saying I agree with everything the president stands for either. But one thing I don't like is when I see an individual being bullied by the masses because the individual doesn't agree with everything the masses believes in. And I'll say this again on my platform. I'm always going to be with the underdog. I'm always going to be with the underdog because I don't like when people try to impose their views on an individual and then all of a sudden a whole collective is attacking that individual. Whether she's her argument is all the way right, it's a fact that it seems like everyone's attacking Nicki Minaj and they're enjoying doing so. Even when she's not addressing certain individuals are inserting themselves by mentioning her name, which is why at the most recent thing that I could think of, when Trevor Noah spoke about her at the Grammys, I thought that was just out of line. Like, why even mention her? She's not even there. But I understand he's a comedian, but I just thought it was one of those things where, again, another person's attacking Nicki. But let's get back to this episode. My issue with this, again, is the fact that a sitting president allowed this thing to go through. And he hasn't, at the time of this recording, he hasn't apologized for it. So that's where the issue with this lies. My issue with AI, I don't have an issue right now because it doesn't seem like they're not making it a priority to address the fact that there are individuals out there creating divisive images, and they're allowing it to go through. So I don't think they care. They just care about the fact that their platforms are making money, these AI platforms. But let me get into the next thing I have queued up.
But what the president has done is gone beyond racial profiling. This is racism. This is raw, rank racism when the president of the United States of America, who knows or should know the history of this country, and how persons have used this image of persons of African ancestry to be associated with persons who are members of the monkey family. For the president to do this, and to do it openly and notoriously, is showing that he condones this level of racism. Those who tolerate racism perpetuate racism. We have a duty, a responsibility, and an obligation to let the president know that this is not only acceptable, this is not only something unacceptable, it is something that is objectionable and that we will stand against him. If I see him again, he will know where I stand. But what the president...
Okay.
I can't believe this. If you can't call out your president for blatantly racist behavior, you're not following Jesus. You're following the cult of conservatism. You're following dogma. You've been brainwashed. I'm just going to be honest. I voted for Trump. I like a lot of stuff that Trump does. This is racist. It's awful. It needs to be repented of, and it needs to be publicly apologized for. And if you can't separate Republican versus Democrat in light of evil versus good, just go look at the Epstein files and see who's listed. This is not blue versus red, right versus left. This is evil versus good. And both parties are complicit. Legitimately in shock.
one thing that I like that he said, and it stands out, and I think this applies in all aspects of life. A lot of the things that we deal with, a lot of things you see on social media, whether it be political, whether it be entertainment, it's about right or wrong. All right, there's really no gray area. It's about right or wrong. And as adults, we should be able to differentiate right and wrong. It shouldn't be something where we're debating it. And the problem when it comes to the political space is the whole right fighting the left, blue versus red, Democrat, Republican. It's all it's all divisive. It's all division. Much like what I talked about in other episodes in the black community. You know, it's the there's so many layers in the black community. I don't want to go off on a rant, but the black community, it's hood versus the not hood. It's street versus the not street. It's now it's gang versus not gang, or it's gang versus gang, or it's FBA versus the others, or the what they like to say, the tethers or something like that. Right? There's just so much division, not just in the black community, but again in politics. And at the end of the day, something like this, a post like this, is just right or wrong. And if you're gonna ask the question, what my thoughts are on this is it's wrong. Again, a sitting president having this come up on one of his platforms is absolutely wrong, and it would be in his best interest to apologize for it and clarify how that was able to happen. All right, at the very least. All right, it's wrong. There's no in between. Again, now if we're going to talk about the video itself, I don't know who created it. I don't care who created it. That's an issue that needs to be addressed with AI in general. And these things, again, have not been addressed with AI. AI is still allowing people to make, controversial videos, disparaging videos. And it just doesn't seem to stop.
We have some pretty significant news right now. Donald Trump's former chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, has come out tonight and said that Donald Trump's post about the Obamas, the racist post on Truth Social, likely cost Republicans the midterms. It's that bad. There is that much concern within Republican circles this evening. Mick Mulvaney told this to Kelly Meyer this evening, and while he says that if he were chief of staff, he would offer his resignation immediately, he would also find the staffer, quote unquote, who did this and fire them. But he made clear to Kelly that while only 2 people likely have access to this Truth Social account other than the President of the United States, and these are top senior staffers, these are not just your everyday interns at the White House. And he says that Republicans are freaking out, essentially, that they don't know how they would be able to defend this. It's indefensible on the campaign trail. And that, in his opinion, this just cost the Republican Party the midterm elections. It's that bad of a post. We'll see if he's right. Spread the word. I'll have more updates on my Substack LinkedIn bio. Subscribe for free, follow along, stay up to date on all the news. You need to know about more to come. Yep.
So here's one thing I have to say. The same way I'm not surprised about AI and the things that have been coming out through AI, I think it's safe to say, in regard to the president pretty much does things the way he wants to do it. If you haven't been watching the way he's been operating, he pretty much does things the way he wants to do it. So, and he never came across as a man who bites his tongue when others try to apply pressure on him. If anything, he doubles down. He moves at his own pace. He can't be bought. And that was one of the things that I personally liked about the president, is he didn't seem like someone who could be compromised. And I thought that was a good thing about having someone like him in office. It's the fact that he's not someone that could be compromised. He came in with his own money, so he's not someone who's going to be swayed by money. All right, but that doesn't mean he's perfect. That doesn't mean he's the best person for the role. But I'm not going to go off on a rant on my thoughts overall of the president. I'm going to stick to this episode and For this, he was wrong. Period. That's what I'm going to say in conclusion. For this, he was wrong. And for this, he, at the very least, should explain to the American people how he let it happen. For those that were offended by it, he needs to explain how he allowed this to happen. And even furthermore, even if he could get to the root of it and fire the person who allowed it to go through, or whoever was behind sneaking that through, if he himself did not fully watch the video, because I believe someone had said that he did not fully watch the video when he posted that. So that was towards the almost towards the tail end of the video that appeared. But something has to be done. It just looks bad. Forget about midterm elections like this gentleman just talked about. Just as a president, you don't want something like that coming out where it looks like you're racist. It just doesn't look good for a president at all, because you're not here to be the president of a country of one race. You're here to represent a country of diverse races, and for something like this to come out on your platform, it just doesn't look good. Period. But that's my thoughts on all this. What's your thoughts? As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And as always, stay honorable.